Yesterday we finished watching season 2 of The Walking Dead. This entire season could be summed up with, isn't Laurie such a bitch? But I suppose let's be fair and talk about the whole season, because it was a bit of a weird one, because it happened during a time where there was writer strikes going on. There was drama within the behind the scenes of the Walking Dead crew that meant that it was gonna be a little bit different to season 1, and it meant that in the show, they ended up just being in the same location, dealing with basically the same problems for the entire season. Think about it, what really happened during season 2 of The Walking Dead? Spoilers, by the way, if you've not already, realised that. But Carl gets shot, they look for Sophia, Shane's beginning to go a bit iffy, and Laurie wants them to fight each other. Back to the whole Laurie thing, by the way, because it really, really annoys me. At one point, she full-on tells Rick to kill Shane. Straight up tells him, Shane is a problem, he's threatening your leadership, deal with the problem. Anyway, season 2 of The Walking Dead is iconic for introducing more of the main cast. This season introduces Herschel, Maggie, Beth, Otis, Patricia and Jimmy, but those three exactly don't make it for very long, nor are they really very integral to the entire plot. Oh yeah, and Laurie gets pregnant, because of course she does. Not that she knows who the father is, because of course she doesn't. Throughout this season, they have to make a lot of hard decisions. They have to figure out when are they going to give up searching for Sophia. Sophia is Carol's daughter. At the beginning of the season, she goes missing because a herd of walkers attack or walk through a highway that the camp are currently sitting on, and they end up having to hide underneath some cars. Sophia gets a bit shit up, runs the hell away. Rick goes after her, tells her, wait here while I deal with the walkers. He goes, deals with the walkers, comes back, she's gone. We literally never see her again until about 7 episodes later when she steps out of a barn as a walker. A big crux of this season is Shane wants to do a thing that in reality, when you think about it, is the correct thing to be doing in this situation, but the way he goes about it pisses people off, especially, well, Rick. Let's talk about some of the things that he needed to do. He's like, he wants to call off the search for Sophia. Now, bearing in mind, remember, Shane and Rick are both formerly police, yeah? They know the likelihood of finding someone after the first few days of them being missing, especially a child in the woods alone, very low. I think at one point Shane even says it, after 3 days, you're not looking for a person anymore, you're looking for a body. Far more than 3 days goes by, and that was the rule back when life was normal. Life is definitely not normal anymore. It was pretty clear after the first couple of days that Sophia didn't make it. The other conflict of the season is that Herschel and his family are not exactly keen on bringing in Rick and the group to their dynamic. They don't actually believe that this is the end of the world. They think it's just another disease like the plague that's going to come and go so long as they can survive it. That at some point there'll be a cure. That the people that are the walkers, that they're just diseased people that can be cured, not actual walking corpses. It isn't until about halfway through the season when Shane again makes a decision for the group, clears out a barn that is on the farm full of walkers, the walkers containing Herschel's wife, I believe, in the same instance as Beth's mom, and then a bunch of other walkers, that friends and family that they found, and of course Carol's daughter Sophia. At this point, Shane shoots a walker like 4 times, and he's like, Herschel, if they were alive, how is it still coming? And at that point, Herschel pretty much realises that he's fucked up, that everything that he believes isn't true, and everything falls apart from then, basically. The whole group begins to fracture after that episode. But again, because they've got to spend the entire season here, it still takes quite a few episodes to really get anywhere. Like at one point it looks like the Rick and Shane drama was going to come to an end in a scrapyard, but then it doesn't, because again, they've got more episodes to fill, because at this point in time, they were just trying to get through the real life behind the scenes drama so they could actually start doing what they want to be doing again. So the way this season ends is towards the end, they come across another group of people. Now, this group of people do not seem best friendly. Rick ends up getting his first 2 human kills of the season, and then the rest of these pairs group decide, we're going to kill you because you killed ours. But they actually abandon one of their members when the walkers sort of take over the little town that they were in at the time. And of course, Rick and the good people, being moral, can't leave the guy to die. They take him with them back to the barn, but they don't really exactly want to have people that have tried to kill them at the barn where they sleep, where Laurie's pregnant, where there's children. You know what I mean. So of course, again, the whole problem of Shane versus Rick rears its head again, in that Shane just wants to kill the guy and get it done. Rick doesn't want to do that because it's the bad thing to do. And of course, Dale, being the most moral of any of the characters, will not abide a human life being killed, especially a young guy. Like, there's a decent chance that this guy is younger than I am now, because I'm 24, and I think the guy said that he went to school with Maggie, and Maggie said that she was 22 in this season, which does mean they're younger than me and I'm getting old. Anyway, again, a similar problem with the rest of the season in that this gets really dragged out. There's like 3 episodes of this will they, won't they, are they going to kill him, are they going to let him go, are they going to join him into the group? And eventually, Shane uses this fella as his opportunity to try to finish Rick. He takes the guy out into the woods, kills him, pretends that the guy had actually knocked him out, but he broke his own nose on a tree, in fact. Goes back to the group and is like, guys, we need to go after him. Split off into pairs. Glenn and Daryl one way, Rick and Shane the other way, and that was where Shane makes his move to attempt to kill Rick, and Rick ends up having to kill his best friend, which is arguably the point in the show that Rick sort of changes forever, learning that he's got to do things that he's not going to want to do for the better of the group. Towards the very end of the season, he's getting chastised by everybody else in the group for wrong decision making, and he's like, I killed my best friend for you people. But do you know who I feel sorry for this season the most? And for the first couple of seasons in general, to be honest, is Carl. Because again, Carl is like, I don't know how old Carl is supposed to be at this point, but he's got to be like 11, 12, something like that. And he puts down Shane. He gets Dale killed because he didn't put down the walker that like scared him. And then, do I talk about this? Maybe I'll wait until season 3 to talk about that. But basically, Carl is having a bad old time for a kid as young as he is. Anyway, so that's this season sort of summarised. I do enjoy it, but it does drag on way too long. The first season did it right in only being like 6 episodes. If it was flipped, it would arguably be better. If season 1 was 13 episodes and season 2 was 6 because of the writer strikes or whatever the hell the problems behind the scenes actually were at the time, then this would be a better season, because again, they spend like the first half of the season trying to find Sophia when it was inevitably not going to go anywhere, and the second half of the season, the whole Rick and Shane drama, which was clearly only going to end one way, it all just took a bit too long. Like, it could have been wrapped up in like 6 to 10 episodes, not 13, you know? Anyway, overall, it was a good season. You know, you get a lot of the very important characters come into the show, a lot of the relationships that really make a massive difference later on in the show get formed. It was good, but obviously nowhere near as good as season 1 or some of the seasons that are going to come after season 2. But it was necessary for it to happen. I want you guys to comment down below what your thoughts were on season 2. And it's well worth, if you haven't already, going and watching some of my other videos. You know, stick around, click the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys next time.